As you said, well, we are with Xolani Mabanga, General, who is the SANDF spokesperson, who'll just give us a brief look at, what is going to happen today, what happened yesterday. General, good morning. Welcome to Morning Live.
Good morning.
If you could just reflect on what happened yesterday, what are some of the key points? What happened yesterday?
Well, what happened yesterday is that almost everything as it was scheduled went well, except that a number of people turned out and most of them had to be returned because of the time. And that set some emotions amongst the public. But there was nothing more that we could do. We were just running out of time. And apologies for those who could not view the former president yesterday.
What do we say to those people now who were turned away yesterday and want to come today?
There's still time today. We are starting today at 8 o'clock, finishing up at 5:30, as well as tomorrow, that is the last day, Friday. We still again start at 8 o'clock in the morning up until 5:30 in the evening.
Now, you and I were speaking about the relationship, Nelson Mandela had with the military. I mean, he was the first commander-in-chief, and, some of his colleagues will come and see today. What is going to happen today?
Well, today, the chief of the South African National Defence Force and the military command, that is the top structure of the South African National Defence Force, will come and pay their homage to the former commander-in-chief, and in fact, the first commander-in-chief of the South African National Defence Force. Then we will also like them to talk through, because if we all know that it was only under the leadership of the former president and the first commander-in-chief that 7 armed forces had to be integrated to form what is now today known as the South African National Defence Force. And those forces were at one stage or another fighting one another. So we would like to hear and see how did it happen? How did it happen that they were able to sit under the one roof and form what is this respected South African National Defence Force?
Now, this Lion State term and this process is something new to South Africans, and we're hearing this for the first time. What is it, and what does this process include?
Well, this process is lying in state. It's just allowing the person who has been respected or a hero by the nation that he can lie down in state and the public or the people can have an opportunity to come and see him for the last time and pay their last respect, and also to remind themselves of the deeds that that person has done, which will live forever in their memories. So it's a question, it's a sort of really coming to term that that person that they respect is gone and is no more. You will not talk back to them. But it sometimes becomes emotional. But it is just to allow people to see the person for the last time and pay their last respect, so that when they go, then they know and realize and accept that he is gone.
The issue of dress code has also come up in yesterday's news, and this morning we saw Collins Shabane also appealing to the people. What is the appropriate dress code that we keep talking about?
Well, like Minister Shabane has said, that the government won't like to be too restrictive or prescriptive to people. People should wear accordingly. If they were going to view their own, how will they dress? That's the question that they should ask themselves. That if I'm going to see a person or a body of a deceased person, how should I be dressed as a man? How should I be dressed as a lady? Those are just basic things.
And I mean, the SANDF, I imagine is something that you've been preparing for a while. Speak to us about the logistics of, putting something like this together. I mean, they have to start in military, one hospital, come through here for the next 3 days.
Well, it has been a demanding job indeed. However, as we are all aware that the South African National Defence Force, the chief of the South African National Defence Force used to describe it as it's like an insurance for the nation. So when things go and then you have something else somewhere else. So we came in full force. We did what we were asked to do, and we are doing it to the best of our ability. We would like to see a well-prepared, dignified send-off for the first commander-in-chief.
Now, you've got that black armband around your arm. Tell us more a little bit about that. Does everybody have one in the military? What's the significance of that?
Well, the significance of this is that when the Defence Force is mourning or is going to a funeral, then we put on a mourning band, which signifies that you are in a mourning stage or a mourning period. So now, as we are here, we are also having the body of the first commander-in-chief. So we are respecting that period, and we are mourning with the family and the nation at large.
And I imagine logistics as well, heading to Qunu on Saturday, then with a funeral on Sunday as well. Those are also probably some of the major things that the military is involved in.
Indeed, those are the major things that we are busy with. But everything is still in place, and we assure the nation that everything will go accordingly. We will be preparing the body on Saturday to move down to Qunu. We will take it first to Air Force Base Waterkloof, where it will be officially and formally handed over to the African National Congress to enable or to give them an opportunity to pay their last respect to the president of the ANC as well as the comrade. And then after that, after they finish that ceremony, they will again hand over the body to the South African National Defence Force, who will then take it over and prepare it for transportation down to Qunu in Eastern Cape. And when we arrive on the other side in Eastern Cape, we will be received again on the other side by elders from the Madiba family, as well as officials from the South African National Defence Force. We continue with our ceremonies. That will be a fusion of what they have to do as the family and what we are required to do as the military in terms of the protocol that governs the state funeral.
Now, we've had people speaking about, we can't all make it to Qunu, obviously, because of logistical issues and how small the place is. What are your biggest challenges going into a place like Qunu?
Well, if people can understand that everybody would like to go, and we as the locals, as well as the locals in Qunu, so how do we do? Can we all get there? Hence the establishment of public viewing areas where other people who cannot make it to the facility can be able to view the whole processions at the public viewing areas. And people are encouraged us to have that understanding in mind that Qunu is as that such. We cannot all be accommodated. We South Africans, as well as other people that have come to pay their last respect from other countries.
Does the size of the venue make your job more difficult?
It's not the size of the venue that makes the job more difficult for us. It is the expectation of the turnout from the people that makes the job a bit complex.
Now, we believe the body has already left one military hospital. Take us through the process again for people who are hearing this conversation for the first time. What happens once the body's left the military hospital?
Well, when the body leaves one military hospital, from one military hospital up to prison, there will be street lining that will be comprised of the South African Police Service. And then people are expected to line up from Correctional Service Center down Potgieter Street and then Madiba Street up to Parliament Street. Right. Then from Parliament Street, we will have the South African National Defence Force providing the street lining. Then on arrival here, it will be received with a guard of honor from the South African Air Force. And then it will be taken by the poll bearers to a pedestal where it will be placed and prepared for viewing. Then we'll also place the sentries who will provide guard during the lying in state of the former president.
General, thank you so much for talking to us. General Xolani Mabanga speaking to us about, the process, what is going to happen today and what is going to happen tomorrow and Saturday and Sunday. We believe the body has already left one military hospital and is heading this direction. We'll keep you up to date on what's going to happen, what is happening at the moment. Remember, yesterday, the public were not able to see the body up until 12 o'clock, but that has changed a little bit today, so you can come a little earlier than 12 o'clock this morning. Back to Johannesburg.